and rolling.
All right, guys, so we want to talk a little bit about the next 4-week cycle for barbell. We'll be doing a lot of squats on the clean or in that front rack position, and then with the snatch, we'll be focused really on that overhead position, adding a pause into our overhead squat. So let's look at Tuesdays, which are going to be mainly our clean day. So we'll do 8 sets. To begin with, we'll probably cut the number of sets each week as we get heavier. So we'll start week 1 about 70%. We'll do 1 power clean plus 3 front squats plus 1 shoulder overhead. That shoulder overhead can be a push press, push jerk, or a split jerk. I do recommend that we stay with the same shoulder overhead for the entire 4 weeks. So if you start week 1 on the push press, then I recommend staying on that push press. Okay? 70% is 70% of your limiting lift. If that is your power clean, then use the power clean. If your front squat, use the front squat. And if it's your shoulder overhead, then use the shoulder overhead. The shoulder overhead will be very challenging after 3 front squats. The first week, again at 70%, the weight shouldn't be that heavy. It should be the fatigue that makes it challenging. Week 2, we're looking at 75%. Week 3, we're looking at 80 to 85%. And week 4, we'll try and max that complex out. Okay? The goal here is to gain a lot of confidence in our shoulder overhead or our jerk for the max clean and jerk later on in this cycle, where we have the confidence of standing up that front squat, going into our jerk, that we're going to make the jerk. Accessory work, we're going to be working on that explosion from the single leg. So we'll do 5 per leg, single leg plate or box jumps. Again, that's just focused on that single leg explosion, that extension up, creating power through one leg to really learn how to drive through our legs in the Olympic lifts. And then 5 barbell strict presses in our jerk receiving position. Okay, this is to work on not only thoracic mobility, but stability in our receiving position of the jerk. The barbell should be very light through all of these. The 4-week progression here is just to focus on the stability in that receiving position so that we never lose a bar once we have received it in that receiving position of our jerk. On Thursday, we'll again start with 8 sets at 70%. The goal is to add 5 to 10% each week until week 4 where we max out this complex. 1 snatch grip deadlift plus 1 hang power snatch plus 1 overhead squat with a 2-second pause. For that overhead squat, focus on full flexion of the knee while maintaining really good bracing through your midline and keeping those shoulders really stable. That 2-second pause should help us feel more confident when we start doing heavy squat snatches that we're good in the receiving position. By good, I mean not only is our squat good, but our shoulders in that receiving position are also really stable so that we know once we have caught that snatch in the squat, standing it up will not be an issue. Accessory work for the snatch during this 4-week cycle. We're going to start adding in some snatch grip socks presses or socks presses from the snatch grip. We'll do 5 to 8. I recommend starting from a seated position using a box or stacking some plates together and doing that snatch grip socks press from that position there. Or you can start in a half or a quarter squat, whatever's comfortable for you and that you feel the most stable, working on that shoulder stability and that range of motion through the shoulder. It's a great way to improve our overhead mobility. From there, we'll do 10 PVC pipe Cuban presses. These should be very slow and controlled reps, taking our time, really opening up that scapula. And then 10 prone banded pass-throughs. The idea there is to really hit the shoulders while they're fatigued with the movement that's very safe, but gives us better strength and muscular endurance. Really looking forward to this 4-week weightlifting cycle. Again, starting fairly light, working up to a max in each of the complexes. This is not going to, be the same as your 1-rep max clean and jerk or your 1-rep max snatch, but it's setting us up for great success by building really strong positional and strength basis foundations for our Olympic weightlifts.